Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with Gaming PC Myths Part 2. So a couple weeks ago I did a video going over a lot of the common misconceptions that people have about PC gaming, and since some of you guys liked that video and suggested a ton more for me to go over, here are more gaming PC myths. The first one is that consoles have better graphics than a gaming PC. Now this one really isn't true. Both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 are both pretty old at this point, and while the PS4 and Xbox Infinity will definitely improve this, they still should be no match for a proper gaming computer. Especially with the 360 and PS3, a lot of the games are actually running at 720p or lower resolutions, whereas with a gaming computer, you can run at 1920 by 1080, you can run at 2560 by 1440. In fact, you can even game on multiple monitors if you want. Not something you're going to be able to do with a console anytime soon. Another is that to be a PC gamer, you have to use a mouse and keyboard. Now while this is a good way of controlling your games, and it's what I use 95% of the time, if it's not for you, you can also use a controller. So the best way to do it is if you have an Xbox 360 controller. If you have a wireless version, you can buy an adapter, and if you have a wired controller, all you need to do is plug it into your computer and it'll be good to go. Now not all games will support controllers. For example, you're probably not going to be wanting to use one with StarCraft. However, most games will automatically detect the controller and you'll be good to go, and even ones that don't are pretty simple to set up. Another myth is that you have to buy an expensive gamer mouse and keyboard. Now while sometimes it does make sense to get a little bit of a nicer mouse and keyboard, for the most part this isn't necessary. So take a mouse for example. A lot of times you'll see some specialty mice which will have a bunch of buttons on them or have some super high settings, but for the most part this really isn't necessary. Now sure, in some games having 10 buttons on your mouse might be helpful, but for most people it's really not worth spending all that extra money to get something that's really marginally better than anything else. On the keyboard side of things, typically the major upgrade you're going to want to look for is a mechanical board. Now this is something I use and it does make a difference. However, just like with the mouse, while it is nice to have, it really is not a necessity, and it's not going to make a huge difference in your games if you're going to be using a standard mouse and keyboard that costs 30 bucks or a really nice gamer set that costs 200 each. Another one I see all the time is that you have to have a 1000-watt power supply to run a gaming PC. Now a lot of people way overestimate what they actually need. I would have no problem building even a fairly high-end rig with a 500-watt supply. Now of course there's no real maximum amount of power that you can have in a system. If there's extra overhead it's not going to hurt anything. However, if you're paying a bunch of extra money for an 800-watt power supply when you're running a Core i3 and a 7850, it's definitely not really needed. Another common myth is that you have to have 16 gigabytes of RAM, right? The thing is, gaming PCs actually don't really need all that much RAM. Obviously, if you're going to be trying to play Battlefield 3 on a half a gigabyte of RAM, you're going to run into some issues. However, if you do have 4 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, that's really all you need for a gaming PC. Now, sometimes it can be helpful to have more RAM. So for example, some programs like Adobe After Effects and virtual machines can definitely eat up 16 gigabytes of RAM. But if you're just doing a normal gaming PC, 4 or 8 gigabytes of RAM is really all you need. And since you made it to the end of the video, I've got a special giveaway just for you guys. So I've teamed up with my friends over at HHGreg once again, who are going to be providing a 32-inch LG TV to one lucky winner. All you need to do is hit up the first link in the description of this video to enter, and you have until March 28th until we pick the winner. You can also enter to win one of 64 TVs that HHGreg is giving away for March Madness. So to do that, go to hhgreg.com/March, or I'll have another link in the description of this video, and you can enter up to once per day. On top of that, if you want extra entries, there's another video I'll have linked in the description as well as in an annotation, which you can take a look at and share, and that will also give you an additional entry to win one of those TVs. This giveaway is only open in the United States, so if you're interested, definitely be sure to get in on it to win anything from a 32 to a 60-inch LG TV. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any other gaming PC myths, definitely be sure to let me know in the comments below, and if you're interested in more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Anyway guys, I will catch you next time.